Ambassador Sarah Chen had been Earth's chief diplomat to the Galactic Council for 8 years. She was known for her patience, her measured responses, and her ability to find peaceful solutions to the most complex interspecies disputes. Today, she sat in the council chambers staring at photographs that would change everything. The images showed New Geneva Colony, what was left of it. The Theocratic Guard had swept through the settlement during what they called a routine compliance inspection. 37 families, 143 civilians, 47 of them children under the age of 12, all dead. Council Chairman Vale Thanos cleared his throat, his multiple vocal cords, creating a harmony that once seemed musical to Chen. Now it just sounded like grinding metal. Ambassador Chen, the Theocratic Guard, maintains that the colony was harboring insurgent elements. Their response was proportional to the threat level. Chen looked up from the photographs, her face expressionless. Proportional. The Guard detected weapon signatures and unauthorized communication arrays. Continued Grand Inquisitor Mordeth, the Theocratic representative. Standard protocol requires immediate pacification of such threats. I see. Chen's voice was soft, almost conversational. And the children? Were they also harboring weapon signatures? Collateral casualties are unfortunate but inevitable when dealing with human duplicity. Mordeth replied with what passed for a shrug among his species. Your kind has a documented history of using younglings as… Stop. The word cut through the chamber like a blade. Chen stood slowly, her hands pressed flat against the table. Just stop talking. The chamber fell silent. In 8 years, no one had ever seen the human ambassador lose her composure. Chairman Vale Thanos, Chen said, her voice carrying a strange new quality. I need to make a formal statement to the council. Of course, Ambassador. Please proceed. Chen reached into her briefcase and withdrew a small device, a direct communication link to Earth Command. She activated it with a soft beep. Earth Command, this is Ambassador Chen. Confirmation code Alpha 77 Tango. A voice crackled through the speaker. Copy, Ambassador. This is General Morrison. Go ahead. Operation Broken Arrow is authorized. Repeat, Broken Arrow is authorized. The chamber erupted in confused murmurs. Broken Arrow meant nothing to the alien delegates, but the change in Chen's demeanor was unmistakable. Copy, Broken Arrow authorized. Morrison's voice confirmed. Estimated time to fleet arrival, 72 hours. Chen ended the transmission and looked around the chamber, meeting each delegate's eyes in turn. For 8 years, I've sat in this chamber and listened to your debates about human aggression, human unpredictability, human violence. You've treated us like children who needed guidance from their more evolved galactic neighbors. She picked up one of the photographs, a young girl's doll, lying in the ashes of what had been a playground. You were right about one thing. We are violent. We are unpredictable. But you made one critical error in your assessment. Chairman Vale Thanos leaned forward. What error? You assumed that our capacity for violence was a weakness. A flaw to be corrected through your enlightened guidance. Chen's smile was cold as space. You never considered that it might be a feature. Grand Inquisitor Mordeth's tentacles writhed with agitation. You cannot threaten this council with military action over a simple law enforcement operation. Law enforcement? Chen's laugh was sharp and bitter. You murdered children, Mordeth. Human children. There's a word for that in our language. Genocide. The council does not recognize. The council, Chen interrupted, is about to receive a very brief education in human warfare. See, for the past 8 years, you've seen our diplomatic corps, our scientists, our explorers. You've met the humans who want to build bridges and share knowledge. She began gathering her materials, moving with deliberate calm. But we have other humans too. Humans who've spent the last 300 years perfecting the art of killing. And when you murder our children," she paused at the chamber door, "you meet them instead. This is an outrage." Velthanos stood, his ceremonial robes billowing. "The Council will not tolerate threats from a junior species." Chen stopped and turned back, her expression almost pitying. "Chairman, with respect, you're not getting threats. Threats are what diplomats make. What you're getting is a promise." She held up the photograph of the destroyed colony one last time. "In 72 hours, the Theocratic Guard will discover why every predator species in Earth's history eventually went extinct. Because they forgot that sometimes the prey evolves too." 3 days later, the theocratic hegemony ceased to exist as a functional government. Their core worlds burned, with a light visible from neighboring systems. Their fleets were reduced to expanding clouds of superheated metal. Their commanders were found in their bunkers, victims of weapons that turned matter into energy with surgical precision. The Galactic news networks called it the 72-hour war. Military historians would later classify it as the most one-sided conflict in recorded galactic history. Ambassador Chen returned to the council chambers exactly 1 week after her declaration. She took her seat at the human delegation table and opened her briefcase as if nothing had happened. "Now then," she said, her voice returning to its familiar diplomatic tone, "I believe we were discussing the new trade agreements with the Centauri Federation." The silence in the chamber was absolute. "Excellent," Chen continued, pulling out her notes. "I think you'll find that humanity is prepared to be very reasonable in our negotiations." She looked up at the assembled delegates with a smile that was warm, professional, and absolutely terrifying. "After all, we're such a peaceful species.